Hello guys, TavHD here and welcome back to another video, and today I will be replacing the fan inside my TerraMaster D2-310. Now I actually contacted TerraMaster to see if they could provide me with a new fan. I was willing to pay, but the price they came back with was quite absurd. They wanted £55 for a new fan plus postage from Hong Kong, so I politely declined that and bought my own fan for £3 on Amazon. Now the only problem with this is the connector on here is a standard 3-pin, while the connector on the fan that comes in here is some random other connector which 3D printers use. So that's why I contacted them in the first place to try and get another one, and I couldn't source another fan that had the connector that this uses. So we're going to have to use a standard 3-pin fan and then use an adapter, and that adapter is in here. I couldn't get an adapter from 3-pin to the funny connector inside of the TerraMaster, so instead I've got a 3-pin fan to USB. Now the only way we'll be able to get this to work is to make a hole in the back of the TerraMaster unit in order to get this cable out, and that's what we are going to try to do today. And also I've bought a new USB-C cable. It's just an Amazon Basics one. I'll take it out now because this unit, when I bought it on eBay, did not come with the cable for whatever reason, so here is just a nice silver Amazon Basics one which quite nicely matches the unit. So I think the first thing to do is take the back off this unit. I've done this before, and right now there is only one screw holding it, and I just can't remember which hole I put it in. I think it's in this bottom one, so I'll now just unscrew this. And with the back off, we can see inside the unit here. We don't need to look at this yet, so it kind of all falls apart when the back's off, so I'll just move that off to the side and let's take a look at the back. So the fan is screwed into there. This is just an 80mm fan, so I did buy an 80mm one to go back in. So I'm going to have to take this out, so I'll do that now. There we go, the fan can now just come out. Well, at least it should be able to. There we go. So this is the old fan. That's what it is, if the camera will focus. So that's what it is, and I could not find a replacement, but probably a good job because I've seen reviews saying that these are quite loud, cheap fans anyway. But this is a cheap fan as well, this Arctic one, but this has got very good reviews and has a 6-year warranty, and I have already tested it and it is incredibly quiet, even though it still pushes quite a lot of air, so hopefully it should work in this use case just fine. So I'll move these screws out of the way, and now we need to think about where to put this hole. So originally I was thinking I would just drill a complete new hole for the cable to come out of, probably somewhere up here, but I think it will be easier if I use some sort of file like this one and just file part of this off here, so there's a gap at the side for me to squeeze the fan cable through. If I get the fan out of its box here, there is enough length on this cable for it to come outside of the unit, so I was thinking when this fan is in, the cable can just go through there and it shouldn't be too intrusive. So if we just file a little bit of this off, I was hoping that the unit should fit together just fine. So I think I'm going to try that before I drill anything. Now I can't find my small file, so I'm going to have to try and use this big one, which is bigger than the hole, so I'm not too sure how this will work, but even if it does make a mess, it's only the back of the unit, so I don't really think it should be too much of a big deal, so I guess I've just got to go for it. Got a bit of a closer angle, not too sure if that's helpful or not. I'm not actually too sure how to do this. I should probably mention that this is not a tutorial and this is not the official way to do it. And of course, if your unit has warranty, this is definitely going to void it. So I can't use normal filing strokes because of how big it is. So I'm just going to have to try and slide the edge along. Well, that seems to be doing something. There's some plastic coming off. I just need to do it on both sides and that should work. I'm going to do a bit on this side. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can tell, but I have actually taken a little bit off. Now I don't know how much I need to take off, so what I'm going to do is mount the fan inside here and then just try fitting it and see if it works or not. Alright, I've put the fan in. I'm not going to bother screwing it in because this is just a test, and I've thought that I might as well have the wire coming out at the bottom just so then it can easily go through. I'm not sure if I have taken enough plastic off or not, but I guess we can find out. And also I've set the fan to be an intake because that's how the original one was. I want this to work just as original. So that's how this is going to be, just like that. And I want the power connector on the unit to still be able to fit through the hole just fine. So I guess the only thing left to do is to try it and see if it works, but I may need to take some more off, and as soon as I push on the back, the front comes off as well. Well, let's just see. Okay, so I'm holding the front of the unit on now. Let's try this again. And that actually works. It looks like we've made just the right amount of room for that to fit through. When that's screwed down, I think that should be fine, although I might take a little bit more off just to be safe, but in theory this works just fine. So I'll come back once I've got a bit more of that off. Okay, there we go. I've just taken a bit more off and there's enough wiggle room in there, I think, so I think that cable will be just fine like that. So I think I can now properly mount the fan with the screws, then screw the back of the unit back on. Then we can make sure that the fan works with this coming out the back, because the cable might be getting pinched somewhere, so I guess it's worth testing it. And there we go, this thing is now screwed back together and this cable actually looks pretty good. So now all we've got to do is connect it to the 3-pin fan to USB adapter. This was actually £15 on Amazon, which I think is quite a lot, but it's got pretty decent reviews, and I think that gives us enough cable length for this to sit where I want it to go and still reach the computer. But for now, I'm just going to plug this USB end into the computer, move it just a little bit closer, plug that in, turn that machine on, and the fan is spinning. And I can hear the fan. I can definitely hear it, but once there's hard drives in here, because there isn't right now, that will be barely noticeable, and it's a lot quieter than the original fan, and I can feel that this is sucking air in. If I turn the unit and just open up the front and feel, I can feel cool air being pushed out the front. So this fan's definitely powerful enough, so it should definitely be able to cool the hard drives when I put them in. But I think that is actually it for this video. For a change, something actually went to plan, so I think that this is where I'm going to end it. I'm very happy with this so far. I'll link the fan and the USB-C cable and the 3-pin fan to USB adapter in the description. If you are going to do this yourself, it really wasn't too hard. I've scratched a bit of the plastic here, but that doesn't really matter because this is only the back of the unit anyway. But I am very happy with this result. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was interesting and helpful in some way. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.